All right. So today, what I really want to focus on for stretching is hamstrings. We're gonna do some core work too, because I need you all to be pole ready by tomorrow morning. Okay, pole ready. All right. So we're gonna do core and we're gonna do some hamstrings. So that said, let's get set up. I'm gonna mute everybody. And then we'll all just come to our mats and find a comfortable seat. And I have Big Dog in here today. If he starts being rowdy, I'm gonna have to put him out. Okay. Oh, you know what, John? You're like, I forgot to spotlight myself. So it's like the John show. Here we go. There we go. Okay. All right, so let's all come to a comfortable seat. Whatever that means for you. You can be seated here. You can have some height under you. You can be in Virasana if that feels nice. Actually, I think I'm going to sit in Virasana today. That sounds good for my quads. So wherever you are, just start to feel grounded. Close your eyes. Start to bring the breath into the body, in and out through the nose. Relax your jaw, relax the space in between your eyebrows. You can let the tongue settle into the bottom of the mouth. Bring the shoulders away from your ears. Lengthen through the spine and root down into the ground. Maybe take a moment to set an intention for yourself for a practice today, whatever that is for you. Maybe it's letting go of the previous week, or maybe it's allowing yourself just a little bit of free time for you over the weekend, whatever it might be. Maybe it's even gratitude. I have so much gratitude for the rain and hopefully the wind that's going to come through today to sweep out the smog. Take one more deep breath in and out through the nose. And then let's make our way over to tabletop. So we'll come to hands and knees with the hands directly under the shoulders. Fingertips pointing forwards, almost making like an L with your pointer finger and your thumb. Spread those fingers wide. Knees directly under the hips, belly button in towards the spine. And then we'll find cat and cow pose. So tuck the toes, drop the belly, breathe in for cow. And then exhale for cat. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. And just do a few more at your own pace. Really finding articulation through the spine. Moving every vertebra. Let's do one more cow. And then pausing cat. And we'll take that moment to press into the mat. Turn on the lats right here under your armpit on the side of your rib cage. And think about pulling the mat apart, lifting through the shoulder blades. Back comes high. Activate your core. And then release that effort and press back for child's pose. Press back here. Bring your weight back towards your heels. Lengthen through your low back. Then we'll walk the hands to the right. Bring your left hip back towards your left heel so you're getting a nice stretch through the left side body. And then walk your hands back towards center. And then to the opposite side, reach that right hip back towards your right heel. Really press back. Lengthen through the right side body this time. And then walk the hands back towards center. Come out to tabletop and press back for down dog. And let's walk our dog out. Lengthen through the back of the legs. Think about really moving through all the parts of your foot here too. Stretch out the bottom of your foot. Heels come down. Hips press high. And let's just pause in down dog. And then we're going to walk up, feet towards the hands. And let's take it with those straight legs the first time. Then come to forward fold at the top of the mat. And you can keep your hands hanging heavy. You can cross the arms in front of the chest for ragdoll if you like. You can even sway back and forth a little bit if that feels good for your low back. Let the head and neck release. And then if your hands are down on the ground, see if you can walk your palms under your feet. You might have to bend your knees, and that's okay. You can get a little stretch in your wrists here. And then just try to lengthen the legs any amount. And you might even bend and then stretch. And bend and stretch. One more time, bend, stretch. And then release the hands. And let's roll up one vertebra at a time. Come to standing at the top of the mat. Let's bring our hands down towards our sides. I do this every time now. I'm going to start on this side, so I'm going to turn around. Find Tadasana. So you're pressing your feet into the ground. Lift the toes. You'll notice that your arches lift off the mat if your feet are active. Strong through the legs. Tuck the tailbone. Navel towards the spine. Shoulders away from the ears. Spine nice and long. Reaching through the crown of the head like there's a string attached towards the ceiling. And then we'll sweep our arms out and up. Start our sun salutations, and we'll move slow the first time. Forward fold, flat back, all the way down. Halfway lift. Plant the hands, step back, plank pose. And then we'll lower all the way down. Remember to bring those elbows back, grazing the spine, and release down to the ground. We'll take Cobra pose. So we're pulling the elbows in towards the ribs, pressing in the tops of the feet and knees lifting off the ground. And release. Tuck the toes, push back up into that plank, and press back, down dog. Big breath here. And exhale. And let's take that little walk back towards the top of the mat with straight legs. Stretch out through the back of the leg. Forward fold. And sweep those arms out and up. Reach up. Hands to heart. Again, we'll move through that one again. A little bit slow. Arms out and up. Forward fold. Flat back. All the way down. Halfway lift. Plant those hands. Step back. Lower all the way down to the floor. Chest lifts, cobra, lengthen the legs, and release. Tuck the toes, push back up to plank, hips lift, down dog. Big breath in and out. Last time here, that straight leg walk back to the top of the mat. And reverse swan dive, lift, hands to heart. We'll move that through that a little bit more quickly. Flat back, forward fold. Plant those hands, halfway lift. Make your way to the back of your mat. If you're ready to jump and move through chaturanga, you can do that. Or you can keep it down towards the floor with cobra rather than up dog. Hips lift, down dog. High on the toes, bend the knees. Make your way to the top of the mat. Either walk or hop. And come to standing. Arms reach up. Hands to heart. Sweep those arms out and up. Forward fold. All the way down. Halfway lift. And move through your vinyasa. Hips lift back. High on the toes. Bend the knees. And make your way to the top of the mat. Reverse swan dive. Lift. Hands to heart. Arms come out and up. And forward fold. Halfway lift. Move through your flow. If you do up dog, make sure that you're on the tops of the feet. Knees are lifted. Shoulders pressing back and down. Hips press back. High on the toes. Bend the knees. Back to the top of the mat. And lift up. Come to standing. One more time. Arms come out and up. Forward fold. Halfway lift. And move through your flow. High on the toes, bend the knees, and make your way to the top of the mat. Rise up, and hands to heart. Eyes, close your eyes. Find your breath. Find your center again. And then we'll move into our B series. So arms come out and up. Forward fold, flat back, all the way down. Halfway lift. And find your vinyasa. Meet in down dog. Right leg lifts. Keep the hips square. Pause here. Find that feeling of really lengthening through the right leg, pressing down through the left heel. And then we're just going to bring the right foot forward, plant it in between the hands. Left leg comes down, knee touches the ground. Arms come up, low lunge. Really press through the hips here, press forward, tuck the tail. And then we're going to sit our hips back and find some length in that front hamstring. Right toes point towards the ceiling, hips reach back. Try to straighten the right leg as much as you can. And then come back forward. And then back. So vinyasa within a vinyasa here. I'm gonna just move through this. Vinyasa means breath with movement. So we're gonna move through this stretch. And then we'll go back through our sun salutations. So pause here. And then hands come down, step back, move through your flow. Meeting down dog, left leg lifts. Pause here, square the hips. Press the right foot down, right heel. Words are a problem for me this morning. And we're gonna step the left foot through, lower the right knee down, and lift the torso. Really press into those hips, tuck the tail. Find a nice stretch to the right quad. You can keep your hands on your hips too if you like. Sometimes I like to do that because I can feel my hip bones and I can tell if they're twisted or if they're pointing straight ahead. We want them straight ahead. And then we'll take that little mini vinyasa here, sit back, stretch the left hamstring, left toes towards the sky, reach the hips back, and then come back forward. And sit the hips back. Forward. Sit the hips back. Last time. Forward, pause. Plant those hands. Lift through the back foot. Step back in plank and make your way through your flow. Meet in down dog. Big breath in and out. High on the toes, bend the knees, make your way to the top of the mat. Reverse swan dive, lift, and hands to heart. Arms sweep out and up. Flat back, forward fold all the way down. Halfway lift, and find your vinyasa. Meet in down dog. Right leg lifts. Again, think about keeping those hips square. Press the left heel down. Take the right foot, step it through. We're going to be in this runner's lunge here. Take a moment here, pause. Let's come down and find a lizard. So for the lizard, we step our right foot out just a little bit. Bring those elbows in, forearms down. If this pose is too much for you, you can always lower the knee. Make it a little more passive. Otherwise, tuck the toes. Straighten through the back leg. Breathe into this. Back up on those hands. We'll find pyramid pose. So pyramid pose, we have both toes pointed forwards, trying to press that left heel down to the floor, nose to knee as much as possible. And then we'll find that little mini vinyasa here again. So we'll come forward into the lunge, chest lifts, and back pyramid pose. Bend that front knee, a low lunge, press back, pyramid. Last time, low lunge, pyramid, and then come back low lunge, put the weight into the hands, step back, move through your flow. Hips lift, down dog. Left leg rises. Hips stay square, press the right heel down. Take a moment. Lengthen through the back leg, lifted leg, and then step that foot through for a lunge. Pause for a moment. We know we're going to go into lizard, so we're going to walk that left foot towards the edge of our mat just a little bit. Bring the torso to the inside of the leg. Forearms come down. If you want to take that stretch, make it a little more passive and lower the right knee. Go for it. If not, keep that knee lifted, high on the right toes. And then back up to the low lunge. Press the hips back, straighten the legs for pyramid pose. Then we'll find that vinyasa again. So low lunge, chest lifts, and then lift the hips for pyramid pose. Again, low lunge and pyramid. One more time, low lunge. Pyramid pose. And low lunge. Weight into the hands, step back, plank, and find your flow. Meeting down dog. Big breath in and out. High on the toes, bend the knees, find your way to the top of the mat. Reverse swan dive, hands lift, and come to heart. Again, arms reach out and up, tuck that tail, lengthen through the spine, flat back all the way down. Halfway lift, and find your vinyasa. Hips lift, down dog. Right leg lifts, this time bend and spin the hips open. Drop that left heel down, lengthen through the back of the left leg. Nina. Then lengthen that right leg, bend the knee, step it forwards, and we'll rise high lunge. Pause here. You can touch your hips, make sure they're square forward. Right knee over the right ankle, high on the left toes, left leg is straight back behind. Then if you want, you can reach your arms up. Find a pause here. We'll take a little vinyasa here as well. We're going to just bring the torso forward. Transfer most of your weight into your right foot. And then lift, high lunge. Again, bring the torso forward. High lunge. Last time, bring the torso forward. High lunge. Arms circle back, hands come down. Find your flow. Hips lift, down dog. Left leg rises. Bend and spin that hip. Try to keep your shoulders square towards the mat. Press the right heel down. Extend the left leg. And then step it through in between the hands. Rise up, high lunge. Check out those hip bones. Make sure they're pointed straight ahead. Watch your alignment. And once you feel like you've got that set up, reach those hands up, pause here. Then we'll bring that torso forward, weight into the left foot. And rise. Reach forward. Rise up. Last time, reach forward. Rise up. And circle those hands. Move through your vinyasa. Big breath, down dog. High on the toes. Bend the knees. Make your way towards the top of the mat. Reverse swan dive, lift. All the way up, hands to heart. Arms sweep out and up. Forward fold, reach all the way down. Halfway lift, plant the hands, find your flow. Hips lift, right leg rises. Bend and spin that hip. Think about keeping your shoulders square. Extend the right leg. Step the foot through. Rotate that back foot down. Rise for warrior one. Take the time to check out that alignment. Right knee over right ankle. Right toes pointed directly to the side. Left leg straight back behind you. Left toes pointed straight forward. Arms out to the sides. Shoulders away from the ears. Gaze over the right fingertips. And reach forward and arch back. Then come forward, right forearm, top of the right thigh, left arm reaches over, side angle pose. And reach back and forward. Back and forward. Last time back. And then windmill those arms down. Rotate the back foot, step back, find your flow. Left leg lifts. Bend and spin the hip. Straighten the left leg. And step it in between the hands. Rotate the back foot, rise up, warrior two, opposite side. Set yourself up, check out your alignment. Press to the outer edge of the right foot. And then reach forward and back. And then move to side angle pose. Find length to the right side of the body. And arch back. And forward. Back. And forward. Last time, reach back. And windmill the arms. Plant the hands. Move through your vinyasa. Feet in down dog. Big breath in and out. High in the toes, bend the knees. Make your way towards the top of the mat. Rise all the way up. Hands to heart. Arms come out and up. Flat back forward fold all the way down. Halfway lift. Find that vinyasa. Down dog. Right leg lifts. Bend and spin that hip. Extend through the right leg. Bring it forward in between the hands. Rise up. Warrior two. Now from here, let's straighten the right leg. And then we're going to reach forward. You'll see when I reach forward, my left hip reaches opposite. That helps to keep my torso long and straight. And then I'm going to reach down for triangle pose. Open up to the side body. Try to stay straight like you're in between two panes of glass. And we'll take a twist. So to find that twist, we bring our left hand down, comes to the inside of the right arch, and then right arm lifts. And we can turn this into a little mini Vinny as well. So we'll come back, triangle pose, left hand comes down, rotate the torso. Back to triangle. Left arm comes down. Twist. One more time. Triangle pose. And then left hand comes down, right hand comes down. Step back, find your vinyasa. Meet in down dog. Left leg lifts. Bend and spin the hip. Straighten the left leg. Step that foot in between the hands. Lift up for warrior two. Straighten the left leg. Then we're going to reach the left fingertips towards the left and the right hip towards the right. Like you're being pulled in opposite directions. And then release the left hand down. Right arm rises. Pause here. And then we'll find that twist on this side. So right hand comes down to the inside of the left arch. Rotate the torso. and back to triangle pose. Right arm lifts. Right arm comes down. Rotate that torso. Left arm reaches high. And release. Back triangle pose. One more twist. Right arm down. Left arm reaches high. The left hand comes back down. Reach that right arm, triangle pose. And then windmill those hands down, step back, find your flow. Meet in down dog for one big breath. High on the toes, bend the knees, and make your way to the top of the mat. Reverse swan dive, lift up, reach up, hands come to heart. Again, arms come out and up, flat back, forward fold. Halfway lift. Plant the hands, find your flow. Hips lift, down dog. Right leg lifts, bend and spin that hip. This time we're going to take a back bend, so we're going to flip our dog. But this pose is called Wild Thing. And if you can see, I have one leg bent, my left leg is straight, and then I arch back. So I'm pushing into my right foot, pressing into my left hand. Right arm reaches up. Flip your dog back over. Right foot comes through. This time we're just going to walk our hands around and take a wide leg forward fold. Pause here. Maybe you want to bring the elbows down to the ground. Maybe you want to reach your arms through your legs. Whatever feels okay for you. Lengthen through the back of the legs. And take the left hand to the right ankle. Bring your nose to your knee. And then bend the left leg. And then straighten. Bend the left leg. Straighten. Bend the left leg. Straighten. Back to center. Pause. I'm sliding a little bit. You might want to bring your feet in a little closer, maybe a little wider, whatever feels good for you. And then we'll walk the hands over. Right hand reaches for the left ankle. Nose to knee on the left side. And we bend the right knee. Straighten the legs. Bend the right knee. Straighten. Bend the right leg, straighten. Come back to center. Keep that stretch in the back of the legs. You can even kind of sway side to side if that feels good. Then we'll walk the hands back over to the right, come into the low lunge, step back, and find your flow. Meet in down dog. This time, left leg lifts. Bend and spin that hip. And you might be able to see better on this side how Wild Thing works. So we're going to flip our dog. I'm going to press into my left foot. Right leg comes straight. Reach up and over. Then we're going to flip back over, left leg high, and step it through. Let's come back to that wide forward fold. And this time we're going to take Skandasana. So this is the pose where we sit, chest lifts, and I'll turn around so you guys can see a little bit better. I think you've all done this with me before, but so we sit, lift the chest. Back of the right arm presses into the right knee, left toes pointed skyward. And then we'll switch to the left. You can use your hands to walk yourself over. Breathe into that opening. And then we'll just go back and forth a few times. You can keep your hands down if you want. To the right, to the left, to the right, to the left. One more time. To the right. And then we'll just take that low lunge on the left side. Step back and find your vinyasa. Hips lift for down dog. High on the toes, bend the knees, and make your way to the top of the mat. Rise all the way up. Hands come to heart. Close your eyes. Find your breath. Let it slow for a minute. If your hands are touching your chest, you'll be able to feel your heart beat. We'll try to calm that before we move into a series of balancing postures. And then we'll come down to the floor. Big breath in and exhale out. So let's come to face forward. I'm going to start by thinking about being rooted into the ground, right? Rooted into your feet. Lifted all the way through the crown of your head. First thing we'll do is come to Apanasana. Transfer the weight into your left foot. Right knee comes to the chest. You can roll your ankle if you want to. Feels nice. We'll do this just for a short period of time on this side, and then we'll move it into another pose. So let's bring the foot down. And we'll transfer our weight now into our right foot. Left knee comes to the chest. Bring that leg up, rotate through the ankle. One way, then the other. It helps to squeeze your glute. Imagine that you actually have roots from the bottom of your foot, helping you stay balanced. Reach the spine long. And release. This time, we'll come to Apanasana. And we're going to reach for our big toe. Right hand grabs the whole big toe. Stretch that leg out in front. If you need to bend your leg, that's okay. Find length through the right hamstring. You can also use both hands to hold on to your leg. I think it's harder to balance personally, but. And then release. We'll find that on the opposite side. Left knee to the chest. Grab the left big toe. Straighten the leg out in front. Any amount. Don't forget about those roots. Holding you steady. And release. Nice. So last week, I tried to do a pose that I couldn't remember how to get into. I practiced it. Let's see if I can do it on demand here. So this is called Bird of Paradise. Okay, so the setup is a little bit strange, but we'll see if we can figure it out today. And I'm probably gonna look silly as I try to get into it. So I'm gonna take my hands, I'm gonna take my left hand, and I'm gonna reach through from the front. I'm gonna take my right hand, and I'm gonna reach through from behind. Okay, see this? And I'm gonna grasp. Now, let me think. Which one is it? No? Which one is it? I get all confused when I try to do this in front of people. Why? I was bound and determined that I was going to figure it out. Let's see. Let me see if I can do it. You guys, I totally can't do it again. Okay, we're gonna do it different. And then I'm gonna have to practice again. Okay, we're gonna do it like we did last week. As soon as I turned the camera off last week, I did it. Okay, anyway, right foot comes up, right knee. What's that called? Is that pressure to perform? So we'll grab that right toe and then extend to the side. Then release. Then we'll switch sides. Left knee comes in. Grab that left toe and extend to the side. And then release. Nice. Now let's make our way down towards the mat. And let's see, where do I want to start? Let's start, yeah, we're gonna go back to that low lunge, okay? So we'll put our hips square, left knee down, pushing forward into the right foot. And then we're gonna find that pose again where we sit our hips back. Feel that for a moment. And then we're gonna try to just widen it maybe a little bit. Widen that pose. Reach the hips back. Again, try to widen it maybe a little bit more. Hips back. And then we'll try to find our split on this side. Whatever that looks like for you. Find length in that hamstring. Stretch through the front of the left leg. Find your breath. Be comfortable with being uncomfortable, right? Then we'll gently bring that right foot back in and think about switching sides. So we'll come into that low lunge, left foot in front. Find length to the right quad. And then we'll press those hips back. And again, come forward. Think about stretching out that pose a little bit more. Walk that back leg back. And then sit back, left toes high to the ceiling. One more time, come forward. Try to lengthen out that pose, any amount. Hips sit back, lift the left toes. And then find your version of the split on the left side. You might need to be up on your fists like I am. You might need to put a support under you. Whatever your split looks like is fine. Just opening up that left hamstring. As a dancer, this was always my nemesis. There were so many things that I could do, but the splits, never, ever, ever have I ever, except maybe when I was super warm. And then we'll gently bring that left foot back in. And let's just take a quick break in child's pose. And you can bring your hands back by your feet if you like. I think that's a really nice passive way to do child's pose. If you prefer to have your hands out in front, go for it. Nice. Rise up. And then we're going to swing around onto our backs. And let's just take a moment here to pull the knees into the chest. You can rock back and forth. Massage your sacrum a little bit. If you have a strap nearby, you might want to grab it. So keep the right knee in, extend the left leg long. Left toes point towards the ceiling. And then we're going to extend the right leg any amount up towards the sky. If you have your strap, you can wrap it around the bottom of your foot and use that to help you. If you do, try to keep your shoulders down on the mat rather than up. Same goes if you're just reaching for your leg. Might have a little shake. And then bend the knee. Switch sides. Left knee comes in, right toes point towards the ceiling, right leg straight. And then lengthen that left leg any amount. If you have that strap, feel free to use it. If not, just straighten your leg the best you can. Breathe into that stretch. And then release. Bring both knees in, and let's just take a twist. We're gonna let the legs fall towards the right side. Try to keep both shoulders on the ground if you can. You can use your hand, like I am, as a little extra weight to help get your legs down if you want, or you can be more passive and have your hands and arms out in a T. And if you want to do the full rotation, you would take your gaze in the opposite direction. So if your knees are pointing to the right, your gaze comes to the left. Now we have one more big hamstring stretch here. It's a little bit weird to get into, but let's see if I can explain it. And you just do the best that you can, okay? So we're gonna extend the right leg long. We're still in that twist. And then we're going to start to extend the left leg and reach any amount that we can. And you'll see I roll my hips with the right arm towards your left ankle, right? So I've taken the front of my body and rolled it towards the right. Take a minute to roll around and figure it out if you can. If not, you can keep with the other stretch. And then we're gonna release that left leg. Come back down, knees to chest, and we'll switch sides. I'm gonna rotate over, you don't have to. I'm going to so I don't run into my door. So, knees in, left leg comes straight this time. Right knee comes over. And I'm doing a pretty big turn here, and I'm gonna try to strengthen or lengthen my right leg any amount and grab onto it. Grab onto my ankle with my hands. So my stomach is sort of on the floor, a little bit. And you can relax your head because this is a very relaxing position. I'm sure of it. Find your breath. And then we'll bring that knee back into the chest. Knees come in, roll out that sacrum. We'll do a little bit of core work before we find Shavasana. So the first thing we'll do is just find like a regular crunch. So feet come down to the ground, knees to the ceiling, hands behind the head. Let's just do 10 slowly here. So you want to think about tucking that tailbone so your low back is on the ground. And we're going to lift with the chest, not with the head. So we lift 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and rest. We'll move into bicycles, but we're gonna do them with a little bit of a leg extension. So I'll demonstrate first. So when we do the bicycle, we're here, but when we switch, I wanna think about straightening the leg, right? So we're gonna do it with straight legs and opposite knee to elbow, right? So bend when you switch and then extend when you're twisting, all right? If that is just too much going on, then keep it like a normal bicycle, all right? So let's just do a total of 10, okay? So we'll start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and release. And we'll do one more, and then we'll find Shavasana. So this one, it seems sort of familiar at first, but we're gonna kick our feet higher over our head, okay? So we're gonna lift with straight legs, and then when we get to this sort of right angle, we're gonna lift the hips up high, and then back down and straight, all right? So let's do 10 of those. You can keep your hands down here under your booty, and that gives you a little bit more leverage to press. If you've got some abs going on, you can try to keep your arms back behind you, like so. So I might try this and we'll see how many I can do. Otherwise, arms stay down. All right, so let's try for 10. Straight legs up and lift. Hips down, legs down. Up and lift. Hips down, legs down. Up, lift. Down. Up, lift. Down. Up, lift. Oh my goodness, I think there's 5 more. Lift, rise, then hips down, feet down. Lift, hips, then feet. 3 more. Lift, down. Oh my goodness. 2. Down. Last one. Lift, down, and relax. Big breath. And let's find Shavasana. Let those feet separate. Let them flop open. Adjust however you need to feel connected to the ground. Palms skyward. Eyes closed. Begin to slow your breath. At your own pace, maybe wiggle your fingers and your toes. Bring your feet up, knees up, roll on to whatever side feels good for you. Just hang out there for a minute. And when you're ready, you can find your way back up to whatever comfortable seat you would like to try to find. Eyes remain closed. Hands come to heart. Think about that intention that we talked about at the beginning of our class today. Bring that back to mind. And thanks to you guys for joining me today. I know you're super disappointed that I still couldn't figure out how to get myself into that pose. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it next week. It's gonna happen. It really is. I know you're excited. All right. Namaste. I have to crawl over here to unmute everybody.